Greetings, fellow scribes! Welcome back to the archive. This video is part of my series on the individual tribes of Werewolf the Apocalypse. I will be going into each tribe covering the same basic details, their history and mythology, their biases, strengths, weaknesses, and a bit of information about their camps, their sub-organizations within the tribes. Now, this is going to be a bit of a boilerplate for all of these, so I don't have to redo a video every single one. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we talk about this tribe. You're standing at the edge of the bawn of your sept. You're alert, watching for danger. There's a storm raging, and you're seeking shelter from it under a tree. The storm that is raging, it is a violent storm. You're watching the tall, ancient trees bend in the winds. You're watching the hail fall, and you hear the thunder cracking ominously through the night sky. From the midst of this storm, you see a lean wolf. Black pelt, a head very much like a jackal's. And as it approaches you, it shifts to Hamid form. Looks you square in the eyes and says, I am Horus Stormrunner, Harbinger of the Silent Striders. Take me to your Alpha and summon the Guardians. There is much to do tonight. This is what people think of when they think of the Silent Striders. The lone wolf coming in just before danger comes to alert a cairn of it. And yes, that is something that they do. There is specifically a camp among them, the Harbingers, that its sole job is it goes between cairns, between septs, on a circuit, looking for danger to them, to warn them. But that's not all the Silent Striders are. You see, the Silent Striders are wanderers. This is fact. Why they wander, it varies on how you want to hear it. But it comes down to they have always been a tribe of wanderers. When they settled down in Egypt and in the steppes in Central Asia, they settled there because it was a place that allowed them to establish ties but still wander. And they would wander up and down the track of the Nile, wander around the vast open steppes of Central Asia, sticking with their kin, sticking with the tribes that they were adopting. But they would wander. Now, of course, there were still always those who would wander away from those areas because they still felt that need to explore, to seek out new places and exotic things, and bring them back. But for Asia, at least, for Egypt, that changed. It changed in one major event. You see, there was this ancient vampire, Sutek to the Silent Striders. Others would know it as Set. This vampire was sealed away by the Silent Striders. They couldn't kill him, but they could seal him. They could bind him. But when he was being bound, he laid a curse upon the Striders that they would never be able to sleep in the land of their fathers, the land of Chem, the land of Egypt. They would not be able to gain gnosis in Egypt. They would not be able to speak to their ancestors. And that the dead would haunt them. And that is what has shaped them from that moment. They will choose a name after their rite of passage, in addition to their deed name. The secondary name is called their remembrance name. Some use it as their standard name. Others just use it in formal occasions. But this remembrance name is always a name that ties back to Egypt. And from that, we also get the fact that the most revered of their items, of the things passed down from them, are not solid silver claves like the other tribes revere, but flint-napped blades. Fetish flint-napped blades that are more dangerous, more powerful against vampires, because the spirits in these remember the curse laid upon the tribe by vampires. And of course there are very few of these because, unlike claves, unlike labrises, unlike Jarl hammers and iron hammers, these are things that are flint-napped. They're made out of flint. And as such, can break. But, again, this is a important thing for them. They deal with these. These connect back to Egypt. And the Silent Striders wander. This is always going to be what they are, because they don't have a home anymore. And if they stay too long in any one place, the restless dead start gathering around them. And so they have to move on. They have to keep moving so that the dead do not accumulate around them. That the ghosts that haunt them don't become a danger to others. Now, of course, they're not lone wanderers. They'll team up with other packs of Striders. Maybe they'll team up with other nomadic packs. But they do tend to not stay in any one place for too long. And so they keep moving. But it's not a case of, oh look, I'm a Silent Strider, I'll just keep moving everywhere and never come back to a place. Many of them follow circuits. They'll have cairns that they stop at, steps that they stop at, locations that they routinely go to as they go around the circuit. Some keep a circuit that's, maybe a couple 100 miles. Some go a huge circuit over a state or a continent. And then, of course, there's the sort of legendary one among them, Mephi Faster Than Death, who really does have the world as his circuit. But the Silent Striders, they are defined by this. And their camps reflect this. The three main camps of the Striders, the most notable camps, are the Seekers. These are the philosophical descendants of the ones who would explore back in the ancient days. These are the ones who go out looking for new things. Just still exploring, still trying to find things. But unlike in the past, unlike back in Egypt, they're not looking for stuff just for the joy of looking. They are looking for something, anything, that can undo Sutek's curse. The next most common camp within the tribe are the Harbingers. These are, as I mentioned, the ones who, in their circuit, look for threats to various cairns and come ahead of them and report them. And then you have the Dispossessed. This camp has a different approach to the problem. Their approach is they want to find a new homeland for these Striders. They want to be able to settle down. And they're trying to find a way to do that. To find a new homeland. Now, in addition to the camps, they have secret societies. And the one that is most notable is the Eaters of the Dead. The Eaters of the Dead spawned as a result of the curse. You see, they found a rite that would let them eat the brain of a recently deceased Garou or person, and they would learn everything that that entity knew, that being knew. And originally this was seen as, oh look, this will let us preserve our ancestors without being able to talk to them. But there was a problem. This rite turned out to be worm-tainted. And it would slowly drive the Silent Strider who ate the brain mad. Corrupted. And so the rite was outright and officially banned by the tribe as a whole. But of course, you can't destroy knowledge of something, and those who had it and who knew the rite but were not killed went underground, went into hiding, and continued the practices. And recently, they've discovered a variant of the rite that lets them use the consuming of flesh to regenerate gnosis. And a few of them have gone back into Egypt, trying to use the combinations of these rites to see if there might be something in their ancient homeland that could find a solution to the curse. Needless to say, both these rites are extremely wormy. Very bad things. Even if their motivation is pure. Even if their motivation is correct, these rites are bad. But beyond this, you have to deal with the fact that the Silent Striders have, for the most part, lost everything they were back in the day. No other tribe has lost their homeland. And this makes the Silent Striders cognizant of how much this loss radiates through them. Of course, things have been changing. Something has changed in the nature of the curse in recent nights. Because a handful, a small number of the ancient ancestors are starting to be heard again by a handful of the newest cubs, the newest striders. The ancestors that they are hearing from are all from before the time of the curse. They don't speak any modern language, any living language. Their dialect of the Garou tongue is slightly different due to thousands of years of dialectic drift. So, understanding what they're trying to tell is difficult. But this is a change still. And the Striders don't know why. Some think maybe the curse is finally losing its power. Some think, even more frighteningly, that Sutek has awoken, has broken free, and doesn't think that they're important enough to worry about anymore. Which of these or other possible explanations is the truth? We don't know. All we know is that things have changed. But with this, I finished my discussion on the Silent Striders. My next video will be on the Uktena. So until then, I'd just like you all to remember, have fun, and keep gaming.